Otherwise, even your folks are going to feel like if you haven't given them the process to use, they're going to come into your business. And let's say some of them do take action. Somehow, miraculously, they decide, you know what, this is a great company, I'm going to take some action. You're feeling like you're spinning your wheels because you don't have a process. Guess how they're feeling? Yes! Worse than you're feeling about spinning the wheels. Let's get real serious here. Something else, too. Who's the leader of your group? Okay, there's responsibility in that, both from a helping, teaching, coaching standpoint, but I think there's something even bigger. Let's say that you've been in the company for X amount of time, whatever that X is, and you've been working and active and taking actions and actions and actions and actions and spinning and spinning and spinning and unicycling all over the place. Someone's on your team, and they've seen you doing what? Actions, 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 working, 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 taking all these activities, doing all these things, and they have seen you not reach the top position with all the action that you're taking. What are they thinking about their success chances? They're thinking, if that person can't do it, how on earth am I? Here's what you got to do. How many of you care about some of your people that you have in your team? Deeply. Like, I really, really like or even love that human. Okay? Then you owe it to them to reach the top level. You owe it to them just so they can see a breakthrough. Just so you can give them that chance again to think, maybe it can happen for me. Jet told us that we had to hit presidential in a year. We had no experience. We'd never heard of this industry. Had nothing. Had no idea how it worked. And his main reason was you have a team and you owe it to them to show them that they can succeed. Yeah, they see me, he said, but I've been doing this for 19 years at the time, or 20 or so. So they're not going to be able to relate to that. But they see you come in, make a new plan. Make a what plan?
New.
Who's making a new plan here today? Interesting. So when does it really start?
Now.
Now. Not when you first came in on whatever day. You're making a new plan, and from now until this time period, then you make it happen. What does that show someone? They might be able to do it too. That's why we took on the 100-day challenge. Here's where we're going to start. Here's where we're going to finish. So that people watching would say, you know what? I'm watching all these videos, and they're not doing anything that's too hard to do. I would just have to do it. I had someone email that said, you know what? I didn't watch any of those because I knew what you were going to show, and I knew it would be easy.
Well, that saves some time.
Why? Why?
That's funny.
Because then they'd have to do it. Think about that. I want success. I want to have success. They knew that we would show it. Yeah. Edit. They knew that we would show what we were doing. We wouldn't show that. We'd show what we were doing. And then they would see that it was easy. And so, therefore, if they're saying they want to have success, all of a sudden, and they see the activities are easy, what does that mean? They'd have to step up and do it, or they'd have to just admit, I don't want success. If it's easy, if the actions are easy, and I'm not there doing them, that pretty much means I don't really want it. What's your motive? Maybe the dream board activity is more important than you thought. Visualizing what would your life really be like with $10,000 or $100,000 a month income? What would it really be? How would it really be different? How much time have you spent visualizing how your life would be different daily? Have you spent some time on that? Okay. Most of the group has not. But that's okay. When can you?
Now.
Starting now. Because I think if you got in touch with what it would be like to have a great income, whatever you define that as, it's your numbers, not mine, or Pony's, you decide that. If all of a sudden it hits you, oh, with $25,000 extra dollars per month, 25,000, not 25, 25,000 extra, here's what my daily existence in this world would be like. Here's who I'd help. Here's what I'd look like. Here's how I would act. Here's who I would be. Here's all those things might shift a little bit, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Then maybe we better get in touch with what that would be like. Because if we're thinking this is too hard, it's just a lot of times you don't know what the payoff is. The payoff could be amazing for you. Our belief is every one of you deserve that payoff. You just got to get in touch with what that is so you can say, I deserve that and I want it. Fair enough? Let's talk about process. What is a process that can work? Well, here's the deal. Has to be just a few simple steps that all of your team can follow. So whenever you take an action in your business, you got to ask yourself what question? Could you make it easier? You bet. And maybe let's say you're going to work with let's use the example we picked out 3 team members, just like we did last time. You have to ask yourself, let's say they're Bill and Nancy and Mary. Brain's getting tired. When you can't think of a first name, brain's getting tired. Bill, Nancy, and Mary. Could Bill do this? Could Nancy do this that I'm doing right now? Could Mary do this that I'm doing right now? So if they can, you've got a process that's doable. If you can do it, but none of your team members can, you're going to be fighting yourself, just fighting away for you to create your own volume, but not getting any leverage or traction from your organization. The two differences, the 2 ways to build this business is by doing it in a way that's more like a direct sales business, where you're doing all the action. And you know what? We've seen people succeed that way. If you have a good process for that. If you're doing all the action, it can eventually get you to the goal. Or by having it so all of your team is doing some things where everyone's earning income. Who made that statement? I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people. No? John Paul Getty. Yep, John Paul Getty. I think Zig Ziglar repeats it. Rather than 100% of the efforts of myself or of one person. Why did they say that? Because it's still 100%, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's leverage because you're only putting in how much? 1%. I didn't understand that for many years as far as what does even that statement mean. I always thought, well, it's still 100%. I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own, or just one person. And I always thought, well, it's still 100%. No, it's not. I'm only doing 1%. And I'm still getting the same result. That's what process will do. Got it? A lot of you have been 100%ers, but you've been doing 100% of it on your own.
Yep.
Okay? It's because of process or lack of process. So what if you had, this is just to give you an idea of something simple that could duplicate that eventually helps you get to where you want to go, okay? 5 people purchasing your product. So no one, did I say how many business builders? I didn't say any, right? This is just an example of process of what could happen. Is it possible that 5 people could purchase your product? Is it possible that those 5 could get 5 others to purchase the products? How many people doing a full-time business? How many people in this illustration? We didn't say any. We didn't say any yet, right? That would help, but we didn't say any. 5 people, and just to give you a mathematical example again of how the trends in industry works, if you had 5 people who were using products and they got 5 people to use products, is that possible? Yes, especially if the process was easy.